time. We do not have much of it at Brooks, and only have a finite amount to live. My particular take on this topic was affected by my older sister's death. She was diagnosed with breast cancer when she was 30. I was in 7th grade. We were so far apart in age because Jen and I were half-sisters. However, we were raised treating each other like sisters, and she was too important to me to be half of anything. She died after almost 5 years of fighting breast cancer, and yesterday marks 10 months since her death. I will not tell you the story from beginning to end. It would take too long, and I don't think I would do it justice. What I can do is tell you my most important and vivid memories. The first is from my childhood, from before Jen was diagnosed. Every year, there is an annual family Christmas party with my mother's side in Manchester, New Hampshire. My cousin Emily had just had the first baby of all my cousins. I asked Jen if one day our children would be the center of attention like Emily's was. We talked about what we'd have our children call us. I wanted to be Auntie Allison, she wanted to be Auntie Jen. I imagined us babysitting each other's kids, seeing them play together at the big family parties. I imagined a wonderful, Hallmark future. Jen never ended up having any children and will not be around to be an aunt to mine. A few years ago, I never thought that would be possible. The second memory is from after she had started chemotherapy and radiation. She'd lost her hair by then, and my mother had bought her a few wigs. The day my niece was born, Jen threw her wig to a corner of the hospital room, saying it was too itchy. Our mother tried to get her to put it back on, but Jen refused. It was around that time that Jen stopped wearing wigs altogether and wore bandanas instead. Mom kept on telling her that people were going to stare at her baldness, but Jen's attitude was, screw them. She didn't care what strangers thought, and she wanted to be comfortable. She defied our mother endlessly. Her fighting spirit endured the rest of her life and inspired me to try and not let the opinions of others determine how I live my life. The third moment I'd like to share is from about 3 years ago. Jen and I were talking about things we could do together. We had not had much hangout time together because of the distance between our houses and because both her career and my private school education were demanding. Our significant age difference caused us to be at very different stages of life, but we were ready to find time to be together. She told me that she'd always wanted to go hot air ballooning. I thought it was a great idea, but sadly we were never able to do it. Either we didn't have time, or someone didn't want to spend money on something that wasn't deemed a necessity. This was before her cancer was deemed terminal, and I still thought she would recover. There was a long future ahead of us, I thought, and we would have time for each other. When the doctors told us they couldn't do anything more for her, she was already at a point where her mobility was suffering. When we realized that her time was coming to an end, it was too late to fulfill her wish. I know that hot air ballooning may not seem like the most important thing, but I'll always deeply regret not being able to do that with her. It represents all the things she wanted to do, but was never able to do. The last memory I will offer is from the very end of her struggle. She had been moved into a hospice, a place where terminally ill people go when they can no longer be independent. Jen's breast cancer was metastatic, meaning that it spread to other parts of her body. When it came back the first time, it was in her ribs, lungs, and stomach. My sophomore year here, one of the worst years of my life, it spread to her brain. And those were the tumors that killed her. She can no longer walk, control her vision, speak clearly, or remember certain things. When we moved her to the hospice, she kept asking, "Why am I here?" We honestly couldn't tell if she was angry or confused. The last time her eyes were open, they were wide and unfocused, searching infinitely for something unknown. I wanted to scream, I'm here, please don't go without letting me say goodbye." I know now that whatever goodbyes I said weren't goodbyes at all. I have to believe that one day I'll say hello to her again. And if not, she still lives on in all those she affected. My sister's ordeal changed me. I learned that I am stronger than I ever thought I could be, even if I still cry. I understand the true meaning and value of friendship, because I would have crashed and burned without my friends there to support me. So thank you. The qualities that awed me in Jen are qualities that I try to emulate, including strength and selflessness. Most importantly, her death changed my perspective on time. Time does not stop for anything, and there will be a day for each of us when there is no time left. Jen didn't get to experience everything she wanted to, like hot air ballooning. I don't want to look back and regret not doing everything I wanted to. I don't want to look back and remember opportunities that I didn't take. To succeed, enjoy myself, learn, and experience new things. I also do not want any of my time to go to waste. I want to cherish all the good things in life, not just because they will not always be there, but because they make my life worth living right now. I will no longer sit back and wait for my life to start, because it is happening. I will not say carpe diem, seize the day, because one day is not enough. Instead, seize your life. Thank you.